Hi guys, welcome back to the Learn with HNG YouTube channel, and in this video I'll be showing you how to design your own page for yourself using Figma, bearing in mind that the home page will look similar to the Lucid blog page. To get started with this video, all you need is a laptop which has an active browser and a strong internet access. Once you have those resources, then you're good to go. Simply open your web browser and type in figma.com. Figma is spelled Figma.com. Once you type in and you load the browser, this should appear. You should be seeing this current page. Once you have this, you are to sign up, and if you already have an account, you log in. So I just clicked on the sign up button and I have this. So I already have an account, so I'll simply log in. Let me input my password and we continue from there. So whether you're signing up or you're logging in as a first-time user, you should see these 3 sample drafts on your Figma profile. So to get started with the main goal for today, which is designing our personal homepage, we'll be creating a new file, and you do this by clicking on the plus icon at the top left of your Figma page, the new file button or the new file icon. So while that opens up, let's just have a look at what we're designing. So we're trying to design a page similar to this, lucid.blog. So I'm using the HNG internship page as a sample. So yes, now that you understand what we're trying to achieve in this video, let's go back to our Figma board. Now my Figma file is loaded, and as you can see, I have a blank canvas. I have some properties right here. I have some tools above here. Then my layers and assets are going to be outlined here. First, what I like to do is to try to have a snapshot or a screenshot of this page that I'm trying to design on my Figma board. You can easily use your snipe tool on Windows or any other screenshot tool that you might have on your laptop. For me, I have a Chrome extension which is called Fireshot, which I use to get a screenshot of a page I want to design. So I would simply be copying this page and pasting this image onto my Figma file. Now that I have the image on my Figma file, all I want to do is dive into creating my own personalized homepage. The first thing you start with when you're designing is to create a frame. So a frame stands like a container, so it contains all the other elements that you'll be adding or you'll be working with. It serves as a container where you can put in all your layers, all your text, and all the other things. So I'll be creating a frame. To create a frame, simply type the F on the keyboard or click on the frame icon at the top left corner of your tools bar here. Once you click on the frame icon, looking at the right hand side of your Figma file, you would see different frame sizes. So what the frame size we'll be using now is the desktop frame, which is the 1440 by 1024. You can decide to use any other frame size depending on what you're trying to achieve. But since we're trying to design for a web view or a desktop view, I would simply be clicking on the desktop frame. So now that I have my frame, next thing I like doing is creating a layout grid, creating a layout so that I can easily know how aligned all my elements are and how properly spaced out and properly laid all my layers and all are. So to create a layout, simply select the frame you're working with. At the right hand side of the properties panel here, you see the layout grid. Click on the plus icon beside it and it creates a grid for you. Click on this square like shape here and select columns from the drop down. So I like using a column grid of 12, column grid count of 12, and yes, as you can see, my layouts have been formed and I can close this. So most times I don't like leaving my layout grid on, so I like turning it, I like hiding it. You can hide it using this eye icon at this right hand side. But when I hide it, I probably will lose track of where I want those elements to be aligned to. So I leave it on and try to create a ruler, try to rule out my page. So you can turn on the ruler tool using your shift R. Then you drag from left to right. You drag your rulers from left to right. Now that I've created my rulers on the page, I can now hide my layout grid. Okay. And note that I followed the look of this page in order to get my layout. So where do I want to start from? First of all, I want to create a space at the top here where I'll be housing these icons. So I simply create a rectangle of height of about 40 to just keep here. So height of 40 and fill of white. Okay, you might say a bit fast and oh, I don't know how to create the rectangle. To do that, you have your shape tool just right here at the top left. Beside your frame tool is your shape tools. So you have the rectangle, the line, the arrow, the ellipse, the polygon, star, then placing an image. So what I did is click on rectangle tool, then drag and change the height and width as you would like. So my rectangle is here, but I'll probably not know that it's there since I use the same fill of white. So I'll just like to add a stroke color, like a border color, to just tell me that, oh, there is something here. I'll probably hide that later when I'm done with this design. So I would like us to start from this left side of the page, which has the image, the name, what they do, then some other tabs right there. Okay, so I want to add an image here. What do I need? So as you can see, this is a circle or an ellipse. I simply go to my shape, so go to my ellipse. If you just drag the ellipse, you'll be seeing that you're forming sort of an oval and not a perfect circle. So in order to form a perfect circle, while you click on your ellipse tool and while you drag, you need to hold down your shift key on your keyboard while dragging. So once you get the desirable shape and size of the circle you want, you can release your shift key. So this circle has a solid feel right now, but I want it to be an image. All I have to do is click on this fill right here and probably change it to an image and just import or bring in an image. So let me just show you that way. So click on image here and click on choose an image. So go into my pictures folder and try to bring in an image right here. But when you do that, you discover that the image is not correctly placed into the ellipse as you would want it to be placed. So another thing you can do, another way to create this particular image and ensure your image is placed at the center of the circle, is to use the max tool. So what do I mean by that? Let's create another ellipse of the same size, about 145. Then, having this ellipse right here, I just bring in an image. So click on your folder. So I just want to copy and paste an image into this. I just brought in an image and the image is like super large. So I want to resize that image. To resize an image evenly or to resize any shape or icon or layer easily and equally on all sides, you need to press your scale tool. You need to enable your scale tool, and you do that by pressing your K key on your keyboard. Press your K key and drag. So now I have my image and the image is like totally covering the ellipse and I don't even know where the ellipse is. However, the ellipse, once you click on it, you know where it is currently positioned. Click on the ellipse. Ensure the image you want to be in the ellipse is actually over the ellipse layer. This is my image here and this is the ellipse. So clicking on both, and you want to max them together, right? You use a max tool, you use as a max. The max tool can be found at the top center of your Figma board. So I just want to max these two together. So with this, you can see that I can easily move and adjust my picture within the circle. I hope we can see that. I can easily move and adjust that within the circle. Here I have my max tool, so I can quickly delete this other ellipse that I created here. As soon as you can do that, then you're good to go on the other things. The next thing is your name and what you do. Your name and what you do. So to type in a text, click on the text tool. Type in the text that you want to be in there, which at the moment is my name. And the next text I want is a text that shows what I do, and I am a UI UX designer. Next thing there is a line. Then I have post, thoughts, contacts. To create a line here, go to the shape tool, click on line, and hold your shift key down while you're drawing the line to have a straight line. Then text tool again, we have posts. In order to duplicate a particular text or a particular layer or section, to duplicate you can easily click on Ctrl D. Ctrl D will duplicate it, then you can drag it out. While Shift Alt can help you as well duplicate while dragging. So when you press your Shift key and your Alt key down at the same time and you drag that element, it helps you duplicate it while seeing the distance between that layer and the previous layer. So I have post, thoughts, and the last one is contact. Next thing I want to do is the button. The button is simply a rectangle with a text in it. A rectangle. I go to my shape tool, click on rectangle, draw in a rectangle. I like using height 45 for my rectangle, and the rectangle has a text in it that says follow me. So I'm going back to my rectangle now, and I want to make it look similar to what I have here. So I'm putting a border radius of 4 to this rectangle. I'm changing this fill to F and adding a stroke instead. So you can see I have something somewhat similar to that button here. Now, don't worry about the colors. We'll be adding the colors, the proper font sizes, and the likes later on. Next thing I want to add is the number of people following and number of followers that you have. So to group an element together, you can do that by clicking on your Control G on your keyboard. Then as you can see, even though I've grouped these elements, they are not properly aligned on each other. So I click on each of those elements by clicking on my Shift key down while I select both. Then I use my Align tool, which is at the top right corner of my design board here. So immediately I clicked on the Align Horizontal Centers, you can see that both the 0 and the following text both became centrally aligned. So I'm just going to duplicate this. And how did I say you can duplicate? You can duplicate using your Control D, or you hold your Shift Alt key down while you drag. So I'll be changing this text to followers. So 0 following, 0 followers. Yes. So now that I have that, I'll be going into this other section, which has the date and time, the heading, and some brief text here. So text to dates. So date is September 12th, 2019, and the time right now is about 5 p.m. The next thing is to add a title, and my title currently is designing a home page using Figma. So looking at that, it's supposed to be the first letter all caps. Then I want to add some sample text. I'm just going to copy some sample text from here and paste it here. Later I'll be changing that text to something different. And for now, let's leave it as that. So I want to group this and to make it into a group. And since I'll be using this a couple of times, I want to make it a component. So when you make when you realize that you're going to use a particular section or a particular layer or element or group more than like few number of times, and you might likely change them from time to time, so you might want to make it an element. Sorry, you might want to make it a component rather. Making it a component, you can group them, then click on the component tool here, create component tool button at the top center, at the center top of your Figma board, or you can simply press your Control Alt K. Okay, so I want to group this left hand side and at the same time move this right hand side to be the same line with it. So I'll simply be duplicating this particular line a couple number of times. Once I'm done creating it a couple number of times, I want to align and ensure that the spacing between them are equal. So all I need to do is select each of them, then click on this tidy up tool at the extreme right, top right of your Figma board. So I want to distribute the vertical spacing between them and ensure that they are equally distributed. So clicking on that, you can see that all of my groups here are distributed evenly. So now we're beginning to get something similar to what we want to design, which is this page, but personally for you. So join me in the next part of this video where I'll be adding my colors, I'll be changing my font sizes, my font weights, and yeah, and I'll be aligning some of these other elements. I'm bringing in the icons and some other couple of things.